Good evening, everyone. We're on number 103 of Live with Spry. Obviously, I got Spry with me. We're going to keep doing our hold conditioning. We're going to take a few steps tonight. I mentioned it when I kind of typed this out. I am still up on the elevated. We're doing it on our freezers. If you've watched these before, you'll know, you'll be used to seeing this. So we're starting to get some people to come on. Let me see if I can get my makeshift tripod to work here tonight. My good one I don't have with me, so we're a little bit tipped, but I'll make it work. Chris Borgman's joining in. Welcome, Chris. Couple things tonight we're going to do different. I'm going to start out with our regular routine. I'm going to put the wooden dowel in. Have her give me a little space because this is my spot. Brian Frisk is in. Brian had sent me a message earlier today. Brian, you're on my agenda or my list of things tonight that I was going to talk about. That's what I was going to say. A little bit different tonight. Brian is going through hold conditioning as well. He sent me a question. Ran into a little bit of a snag. So we're going to talk about that. I've also got a video that was sent to me. I've mentioned something. Sit down. So her training started about 30 minutes ago. I shot my bow tonight. It's just getting dark. She sat and watched me shoot the bow all night. So for about 25 minutes probably. So it was just simply sitting in one spot. That was a lesson. So it was just patience, patience, patience. She didn't get to go with me to get the arrows. She just sat in a spot. So there's a nice little change from her. But you can see she's kind of excited to get back at this, I think. We have been doing it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show. I mentioned something about filming it, and it's easier for me to see. Aaron Garlock joined in. Hey, Aaron. So we're slowly coming on. If you guys would do me the favor, the usual routine, if you would go ahead and share these. It's nice to get the live audience, and then we get the interaction going. Part of tonight is going to be value in having it be live. I'm hoping the Schultes are going to be able to get in on it, Mike and Nicole, because they sent me a video. I had mentioned it's easier for me to watch people do things and then kind of respond to it. I had a couple people send me some videos in the last week, which is great because my answer is probably different after watching a video than it is just answering it if you emailed me the question or sent me the question. So looks like Trevor Barrett's in and he shared it. Chris is in. We said hi to Chris in the beginning. I think Chris was the first one in. Jordan's in. So I'm going to show the video, and what I'm going to try to do is I've got my computer with me tonight. It's right here. So I'm actually going to sit down. We're not going to go anywhere until this kind of settles in. But I'm going to try to use my phone to film the computer, really getting techie here, film the computer while I play the video so that you guys can see what I saw from the Schultes. I watched it real quick at work before I came back. So I would like to review that with them. It'll be very easy for me to talk them through it and point out the things that I think they can do to fix. They're having a lot of issues with hold conditioning. Is anyone else having a lot of issues? Brian Frisk had some issues. So sit down. So I'm not starting anything until she settles in. Now I'm not tethered. She's not tethered in. She's been tethered in to start this. Then I gave her some freedom and I let her move around a little bit. And you guys have seen that progression. We're about a little over a week into it now. So she's seeing herself in a reflection of a mirror, or in reflection of the glass right now. So that's kind of got her interested. The past times that I've done this, I had the window open. I don't have the window open tonight. So she's going to have to settle in, and if she doesn't, I'll ask her to. And I usually only have to ask once, and then we get a little bit of a result. So we're going to start with the wooden dowel again. My change tonight is planning on moving her feet. We moved her feet now with the wooden dowel. I have changed this a little bit. I removed stuff that was sitting on the freezer before. I took it off thinking that might be easier for her to move around. When I say move around, I want her starting down here. So I'm going to start to ask her to get a little more serious. Come here. Sit. So you'll hear my tone change, and you'll hear my cadence start to get in. I'm going to be serious. Like, she's going to understand. Oh boy, he means it. So she's going to sit there, and then I'm going to call her to me here. Come on, come on. So I'm going to get her to come without the bumper right now. Come on, come on. See if I can't get her. There's a step there. This is a change in elevation. 2 freezers. So you can't hardly see that on the video, but that's the challenge that she has, is stepping across that. Come on, come on. So I want to get her to walk across. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go. Come on. Spry, come here. Come here. Right here. No. Come on. Spry. Come on. Here. Here. Come on. So this is a big, big challenge for her, just to walk across. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Right here. Spry, come here. No. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. She wants to get off. No. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. So she doesn't want to come across that border. So I'm going to make her come across the border. Come on. You. You. So I'm going to help her. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Very good. See how easy that was? That's it. Little tail wag. Come on. So I'm not dragging her. Simply putting the lead on her. She's a much different dog on lead than she is off lead. Boy, I took away a lot of freedom. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can't just stand there. Come on. That's it. Very good. Very good. Come on. What a difference that makes. Well, I'm not dragging her anywhere. I'm just calling her. Come on. Come on. Come on. That's it. Very good. Very good. Very good. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. No. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Spry. Come on. That's it. Very good. That time I don't have the end of it. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Come on. So I'm moving her around. Brian Frisk, this is something that, think about something like this prior to, come on, prior to moving around with a dowel in your mouth. Brian ran into some problems. Come on. Good girl. That's it. Come on. That's it. Come on. That's it. Come on. Very good. Very good. Come on. Come on. Come on. So now I got a little dog that's moving around a lot better than she was before. Sit. Might just leave this right on. Sit. Good. Now, back to my wooden dowel. Let me adjust this. Hunter's in. Made it live. Welcome, Hunter. Cam Cutters is in. Justin's in. Merrick Malak joined in. Do me a favor, guys, if you would share away on these. John Ballard's in. KM Cutters, I was talking with Jason earlier this week, sending some messages back and forth on some questions that were coming up. Come on. Come on. Sit. So, I'm going to start out with the wooden dowel. This shouldn't come as any task too big. She's pretty used to it. Tonight we are going to change it up, and we're going to put a bumper in her mouth. Hold. As I say hold, you see that little chin go up. Hold. One thing I want the Schultes to watch. Focus on the dog. Watch the focus out of the dog. Where is it? Hold. Very nice. Hold. Hold. Very nice. Dead. Very good. So watch her focus. Boy, she's dialed in pretty good. That's it. Now I'm going to get her to move. So I'm going to speed through this because I want to get to these bumpers, and I don't want to do this too long to get it boring and get her worn out before I get to the bumpers, because the bumpers are going to be a nice little change for her. Get this old wooden dowel out of her mouth. Good. Come on. Come on. Come on. That's it. Come on. Make the step. Come on. That's it. Sit. Let me turn this so you can see. Hold. 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 Quite a little change there. Quite a little difference there. Make her walk across that bridge that she didn't like. Hold. Nice little position. Head's right where it needs to be. Hold. Hold. Little wag of her tail once in a while. Hold. That's very good. Dead. One-handed this time. Notice that. I changed it up. Come on. I got my hand in my pocket, and I take it out with one hand. Keep her honest. She's used to two hands coming up and being real defined that I'm going to take it out, and oh, she knows the routine. Well, I just changed it. Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit. That was about to fall out. Okay, so now we're going to do it again. One more. I'm going to get her to move her feet with something she's comfortable with. Just saw a good question by Ballard there. I'll talk about that in a second, because Schultes need to deal with it. Their dog doesn't want to keep that in its mouth. Spit it out, chomp it around, roll it around. Doesn't want to hold on to it. So your question was, what if it's loose in their mouth? Well, they're going to have to hold on to this first. Hold. Don't put your chin down. Hold. And move her across. Come on. Very good. Come on. Come on. Come on, that's it. Get her to come across. Have her sit. Hold. That's a good position. Little tail wag. You can hear it. Very good. Hold. One hand in that time and she doesn't spit it. Hold. Hold. Two hands in. Hold. Hold. Very good. Dead. One-handed and she spits. So I'm going to bring it back over here. I'm going to put the wooden dowel down. We're going to go to a bumper. So I'm going to start out a couple different kinds of bumpers. I've got my big one. I've got my puppy one here. And I've got this little skinny one. They all got a purpose. I like this little puppy one. I use it for puppies, but I also use it. It's my preferred style. This is a fire hose, real durable. Look at the intensity pick up with her. Oh boy. So when she wants to go fast, what do? I'll slow this train right down. She's gonna have to get focused through this. I love that she's excited about it, but she can't boil over. If she boils over, we're gonna lose any value in this lesson. Come on. So, fire hose bumper comes out. She likes it, right? Puppy bumper. I like it for puppies because clearly it's smaller and easier for the pups to handle. But I also like it because I'm going to simulate quail with it. I'm going to put dove wings on it and have it's the size of a dove. So I like it different sizes for lots of different things. We're going to start out. Now she has not had a bumper in her mouth for hold conditioning. So I'm going to back way up. I'm going to go right back to the beginning. Hold. You're going to say, why is he doing this? He's already done this. Yeah, we did it with a wooden dowel. Now we're doing it with bumper. Hold. Watch her chin. Hold. Remember, she's had bumpers in her mouth before. She's retrieved. She's never retrieved a wooden dowel. Hold. But she's retrieved bumpers. And she's never been asked to hold it in a specific way. Never been asked to do that little statue delivery that I've been working so hard on with the wooden dowel. So now all of a sudden I put the bumper back in her mouth and she goes right back to the idea of, I know this thing, I've retrieved this thing before. I don't necessarily have to hold my chin up right there. I can move my head around a little bit. I could probably move around. If she were on the ground, she'd scoot around right now because she's used to the bumper. Bumper's for retrieving. Well, things are changing now. Now when we retrieve, we deliver nice. Starting now and going forward. So she's going to have to learn it. Hold. So I want the same habit formed with this, hold, that I did with that wooden dowel. So I lay the ground with the wooden dowel, and I get it perfect. And I move her feet around up here, and I do all that stuff, and it took me a week. Now I put a bumper in there, hold. And I'm going to expect the same thing. And until I get it, I won't move on. Hold. She just side sat at about 30 seconds ago. Watch back to about, I don't know, night number 2 maybe. She did the same thing with that wooden dowel, and it was a sign to me that said, okay, I get it. I'll do what you asked. Hold. I'm going pretty long with her. Hold. Hold. I'm testing right off the bat. If she had, it wouldn't have surprised me there if she maybe had went to spit that out. Hold. Dead. Very nice. That's very good. That's very good. Let's go right back in for another. Instead of taking time in between like I normally do, we'll go right back in. Hold. 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 That's good. Hold. I like that chin right there. Hold. I like those eyes right here. Hold. Hey. Hold. Hold. Good. Nice little distraction. Steph just peeked out. What in the hell are you guys doing? Hold. Hold. Dead. Very nice. That's good. Let's put another bumper in there. Now I'm not pushing this too far. Come here. I'm going back to where I was probably on day number 2, 3. It's just a new object. Feels different. This one's different sized. Balance is a little different. It's longer. Hold. Look at that chin go down. Hold. So I got to get her to understand this too. I want the same thing out of this. Hold. Hold. hold, hold, hold. Just a little touch to her. I don't touch her that often. I think too many people touch them too often. Hold. I want her focused. Hold. A little low. Get your chin up. Good. Good. Hold. Dead. Very nice. Now she's real excited. There's food going on in the house right now. So she's feeding the other dogs, and this dog knows it. Sit. So this alone will be a distraction that we'll get through. Now I'm going to go to my big bumper. Go to the big one. Sit. This will be it. I'll end it here. Hold. Now this one's a lot different. Hold. Watch the where the head goes. Hold. New bumper. Same rules. Hold. Hold. Very good. I'm right here, guys. You can't see me, but I'm right here. I'm not going away from her. That'll be something I'll do tomorrow. I'll take a step back and I'll get a distance. See that? Hold. Watch back to the session that we did this in my shop. Probably day 4, maybe day 5. We did it at the remote at the warehouse. And as soon as I would walk away from her, because I had a little puppy that was there, as soon as I would walk away, her head would go down. Hold. So we fixed that. And now we're getting it again. We're getting the same thing. Hold. Hold. So I got to get that fixed before we start taking steps back. Hold. By me taking a step back, I mean giving her some space. Kind of putting her on an island, asking her to do this on her own without me being right here to support her. Hold. And remind her with that little chin up. Hold. That's the position I want right there. Good. Good. Hold. Dead. Now those, none of those are too long, I wouldn't say. I don't think they went too long. I think they're about the right amount of time. Because you got to remember, she's been doing this for a while. This is not new to her. So if you go back and you look at when we first started with the wooden dowel, we did a lot of the same things with the wooden dowel that we just did tonight. Now I'm going to maybe take a step back tomorrow. I'm going to give her a little bit of distance, make her hold it by herself. I might give her a training dummy, an antler training dummy. Because that's a big thing. That's a shape. That's totally different. That's a thing that is not like the bumpers. It's not like the wooden dowel. So we'll add that in. We'll do it the exact same way we did this. So we're going to take steps now. I expect these steps to go quicker because she'll probably sit down. She's real excited. She's going to eat. Mom's standing here. She knows she just fed those other dogs. She's going to have to work through this. I won't let her down right now and reward her for her antsiness, and I'm not going to go let her eat. She's going to have to sit for a second. So I'm going to spin this around now. Now, I am going to go back before I do this. Let's see. John Ballard. What if the doll seems loose in their mouth? How do you tighten it up? So if I have to, and you'll watch some of the old videos that I did with Jet and Dan live. We'll eat when I'm done.
I was going to say there's yellow decals for anybody that posts a picture of their dog in a Packer jersey by Sunday.
No. She wants to give DogBone decals away for Packer dogs. And we're not having it. Sit down. So one of the things that I did with Jet and I did it with Dan is I had to tighten them up sometimes on the dowel and the bumper. Actually, Jet was loose on the bumper. He was real loose. He's just an extremely soft-mouthed dog. Jet was a really nice fox red male that we trained. He had a super soft mouth, so he wouldn't crunch anything. He had a hard time keeping. He'd come through the brush with a bumper or a training dummy or an antler, and he'd hit brush and it would fall out because he's just so soft. He wouldn't put enough pressure on it. So I had to fix that. So similar situation to what you're saying is with a loose dowel. So sit. So So she's not going to have to do it because she holds it pretty well. She's got a really nice feel for the dowel. But if they're too loose where I'm going to hold it right here, and I'm going to hold this right here, and I'm not going to move it. I'm going to take the bottom and I'm going to hold it up with just enough pressure to make sure they don't spit it. And if they wrestle with me and fight with me, well, then we got a bigger issue. It's not just a loose dowel. So I'll firm it up with them until they get to where I know they're holding it with the right amount of pressure. I'm going to let them know how good they are. Good. 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 And her little tail wags when I say that. Dead. Now, the other thing I can do is they seem to not like them vibrated. Bouncing around. They don't like that. So when you get to the point, John, where they're holding it by doing that, they're getting a little bit better pressure on it, then the next thing you can do, sit. I got to slow down because I'm antsy. I'm kind of hungry. I didn't eat yet. I got to do this yet. I got all this. I better slow down because she will feed off of this energy as much as I don't want her to. She will. So when I slow down, things go better. When I'm wound up and tight, so's my dog. So and you can see that right now. So one of the things I'll do also is I'll put that dowel in. John, once I get them to understand, don't be loose, don't be loose, don't be loose, and that's by supporting here. That's my spot. It doesn't move, and I support up with this until they get it. And when they get it, let the pressure down. Now, the other thing you can do is I'll start tapping this. They don't like that. And it gives them, they have a tendency, especially with a bumper. She just tightened. So as I tap it, and it's sliding out of her mouth, now she's got to at least be holding onto it and not spitting it out. Hold. But as I tap it and vibrate it loose, see how she's hold. She's going to figure out to put enough pressure on it that it doesn't slide through her teeth. So that can help me. I do it with Jet. I remember doing it more with the bumper than anything. Dead. Good. I remember putting the bumper in his mouth. I'm not going to do it with her because she's not there yet. But I put a bumper in his mouth. He was so delicate and so soft with it that I would tap that bumper, and that bumper's got a little bit of grit to it. This is made out of fire hose material. So it's got a little grit to it. So when he had it in his mouth and it would slide, he didn't like that sliding on his teeth. So he put a little bit more pressure on it. And when he put a little more pressure on it, it stopped sliding. And then all of a sudden his head started to move with it. And when he did that, that told me he's got enough pressure on it. So that was one of the things I did with him. Jeff Trudell says, got one bumper retrieved tonight. Awesome. Was working on a denial. Even though Thor broke, I thought I won the lottery when he brought it to me. No doubt, man. If you're struggling with retrieves, I don't know that I would be so worried about the denial and steadiness. And that's what that balancing act, Jeff, that I had to do with her. She got loose on me. She got real loose on her steadiness. She's gonna have to settle in. Sit. Sit. She's probably embarrassed right now, as she should be. Oops, Larry dead. And she goes onto her side hip. Good. Yeah, you can just see the embarrassment in her face. Sorry. Sit down. But when she was struggling with retrieving, Jeff, I let her get loose with her steadiness. I didn't make her be that steady. I let her break once in a while without correcting. I didn't want her to, but she did it, and I wasn't going to correct it. So I'm big on, if you're struggling with some stuff, sometimes you got to let go of what you really, really want end goal to get the balance going a little bit more, and then you know the routine, Jeff. The old broom is over here, over here, over here, and then as we get better at balancing it, we don't have to move nearly as much. So that's an inside thing for anyone who's been to a workshop, but that's okay. Yeah, I would definitely give the thumbs up, and I would be excited about getting the win on the retrieve. At what point do you move her to the ground? When she's ready. There's no time, Justin. I don't know. When she's ready. That's the answer. So I expect probably in the next few days, but we'll see. I'm in no rush. I got there. Good retrieves. I got there maybe 3 from Gracie tonight. Super pumped. See, guys, here's the thing. when you guys find these little moments of success, I find them all the time. I also find moments that suck and aren't very good, and they're not. When you find those little moments of success, remember it. Like, make a mental note and go, boy, that felt good. And then put it in the back of your memory, because tomorrow or next week or whenever it is that things just aren't going well, remember me saying to you, remember the moment that you had the success. Remember what that felt like. Because those are the moments that get you through all the hard ones. You go, we're going to find another good moment. And you will. It'll happen. So get excited, celebrate these moments of success, and keep them back here, because you'll need them. You'll need them soon. Legacy covered 3 good tracks, aged for 3 hours with an hour of rain on them. Awesome, Andrew. Andrew's working his dog on some tracking. I had someone send me a tracking question. I saw it late tonight. I'll be responding back to it. I'm not sure exactly what they asked, but I saw it was about tracking. Jeff shared it. I appreciate it. Aaron, yeah, Pack is back. Nate joined in. Nate from Michigan. How's Nate doing? Mike Schulte got in. Mike, we've been talking about you. We're going to talk about you more. I hope you're still watching. Doing shed training with the white training shed and scent. And Fiona, my 4-month-old black lab, had a few reps a day, and she is doing well, but is only using her nose. How do I get her to use her eyes? I won't worry about the eyes. The eyes will come. Don't worry about the nose. And 4 months is baby. So be really careful to be patient, Taylor. I love the idea of it. I wouldn't be hunting. I wouldn't be training in hunting situations with a 4-month-old yet. It's just too early. Foundation first. Because when we build pretty buildings with no foundation, they all tip over. So I don't care what they look like at 4 months old. I care what they look like at 4 years old. So we really got to build that foundation. But don't worry about the idea. You know why she's using her nose more than her eyes? Because her nose works better than her eyes when they're that young. They just don't have that good eyesight for several weeks after we get them home. So don't worry about that. Hunt. I love a dog that's natural hunt with their nose. So it'll come. The eyes will come. You bet, John. That was in regards to the slippery bumper, I think. Taylor mentioned, must have typed something. Knows how do I. No problem. Understood. Still chasing the broom. I am too. Hank's denials are great. Hank's retrieves are about 80%. That's a big improvement from Ron. Am I ready to start hold conditioning, or should I keep on tuning the retrieves? Thoughts? I guess I would like to know what 80% is before I answer that. You bet, Taylor. She said, or he. I'm like, I can't see the picture. I'm assuming I think it's he. He said, thank you. No problem. And I apologize if he is a she, but I can't see. My eyes aren't good enough. Ron, 80%. I don't know what 80% is. So I like to get where it depends on what the 20% bad is. If the 20% that's poor is an issue that would be fixed by hold conditioning, yeah, then I probably would do it. If the 80% is just because you're just not there with a retrieve, then I would work on getting there with the retrieves. I don't know what the 80% is. But she wasn't 100% with retrieving, and I don't expect her to be before we went to hold conditioning. But she was getting pretty good at it. And so when I say pretty good, I mean she was steady. She made retrieves, whether they were memories or mostly memories. I didn't hardly throw any marks for this dog. It was almost all memories with the exception of water. I did Taylor's a he, so I got you. I won't make that mistake again. 20% poor is he doesn't take a direct line back to me. So yeah, so then hold should help that. The question I had was, where do we have shortfalls? Her shortfalls were when she would come in, she'd get a little bit loose right by me, and then I'd have to here, and then she'd come to me and hold. So that was about it. So I had her better than 80% probably. So if you say it doesn't take a straight line back, bellies or circles, or yeah, then I would. As long as he's always coming back and he's excited about the retrieve and he's straight out and coming back, straight out and coming back. Give it a shot. Give hold conditioning the shot. That could fix that for you. If it's a spitting of the bumper, if it's picking it up and dropping it short, picking it up, dropping it short, that's a cleared clear answer, yes, hold conditioning will fix that. So you might want to, you might be ready for that, Ron. I'm going to swing this around. So I told you we're going to do something a little bit different tonight. I'm going to swing this around, and I'm going to show you guys a video that Nicole and Mike sent to me. And Mike's going, oh no, he didn't tell me he was going to do that. So I'm going to do Nicole first here. See if I can get this to, I want to show you guys what they sent me. So let me give you a background. They're struggling with their hold conditioning. I'm going to get down on my knees here. This little dog is going to sit and watch. So she's going to study as well. I'm going to hold this and show it. So I'm going to watch it. I watched it really briefly. So you guys are seeing it kind of for the first time with me. And I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are on it. I love that they did this, filmed it and sent it to me, because it really helps me understand. Mike texted me about this, having some problems with hold conditioning, and there is no way I can answer that via text, because I just don't know what I'm dealing with, and I don't know, and I don't have the thumb's capacity to be able to message that many words back. So here we go. I'm going to play this and we're going to watch it first. Nicole's pretty touchy, I can see that.
Hold. Good boy. Hold. 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 Hold, drop.
Okay. So that was 50 seconds. So the first thing that stands out to me is, first off, that lesson was just way too long. Let me spin it around. It was way too long. You didn't gain any. I don't think you gained much out of it. So it was a little bit of a wrestling match to try to see if you could get that dog to put it in its mouth. It had it in its mouth probably 35% of the time, I would say. So I would have probably gotten, in 50 seconds there, I would have probably tried to get 3 or 4 repetitions out of it. And I would have quit right after I finally got a little bit of hold. So the other thing is, setting this up to start out with, I'm going to spin this around. One of the issues is he is completely avoiding you. You are way too far away from him. So your setup right now isn't helping you. He's back against the wall, literally, as far away as he can get from you. And it's making it pretty tough on you. It's hard to reach all the way across there. And it's hard to get any leverage on him. And it's hard to really position him. He's above you. So I don't like it that so I think your setup's a little off. I would prefer to see him out about here. So I'd want this table moved. You know, I want this set up. Put something back there so that he can't get up against the wall. Or find a better spot. Because the other thing I'm going to tell you is, your top of your head is at his eyes. He's way above you. So I think this is making it a struggle to begin with. He can't hardly look you in the eyes without putting his head down. So if and when you get to the point where you're going to get the eye contact, I shouldn't say if, but when you get to that point, his eyes are pointing down to see you, and all he has to do is spit the bumper. So either you need to get up about here, which would mean you need to put something to stand on there, or you need to get him down. I mean, I'd want his head about here. When you see me stand up, let me spin this around. When you see me stand up next to Spry, you can see who's taller. She's to my chest at best. So that's going to help you. So I'm going to show you. There's 2 times where you touch him on his chest and you tell him he's good. There's no change. There's no change. So you're marking a behavior of good that I don't know that he did anything different. So it's hard for him to understand right now what he should or shouldn't do. So I think the other thing is, once you get positioning better, it'll help. But then it's going to take Nicole taking control of this situation. When I mean that, I mean you're going to be real strong. You're not negotiating. You're telling him. So it's going to be hold. And you're going to physically get your hands on that muzzle. And he's not going to be able to go. So it might take a day or two. Before I would ever put a dowel in his mouth, I'd have him sitting in a good position, about eye level right there, still out about here, so he's not back here. So you're right next to him. I mean, you could bump into him. A lot like I have with Spry. That's why I like tailgates. Tailgates work good for dogs. You just can't tether him up. I think you need to tether him up, so to avoid him ducking out. So I'd have his head about there at the most. Get another setup or figure out how to get this setup to work. And then I'd just have him sit and watch me. Look me in the eye. And focus. And pay attention. And it might take a while. You need to establish that before a wooden dowel ever comes in. So, that's this one. Now, let's go to Mike. Because I did see some things in this too that were interesting. We're going to watch it to start out with.
Sit. Hey. Zeke. Sit. Sit. Sit.
Okay, so first things first. Couple things. Same issue. I don't know if he could get any further away from you, Mike. If he could, he would. So it's too far away. He's just avoiding everything. So the setup there needs to get fixed. The next thing is I'd close that garage door because he is way more interested in what's going on outside than he is with you. The only time he really looked at you was when he was pissed and wanted to put his paws up. Every other time he was looking outside going, oh, I heard some dogs barking, sounded like cars maybe going by. He's way more interested in what's going on outside. Fix that. Take it away from him. So here's the thing, Mike. We talked about timing before. When Mike, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, a couple days ago we talked. One of the issues Mike was having was his setup was allowing Zeke to lay down just shy of putting his chin to the ground. So it was way too low. So I see Mike has adjusted that. I saw the habit of Zeke come back where he tried at one point to duck down out of it. So he just needs to get in position first off and get comfortable with position. The next thing is these are way too long. Your timing is, you're missing the boat. I think you had probably 2 or 3 opportunities there to get really nice, clean repetitions that were halfway decent focused. I think I would work on the focus more than anything, but you had a couple opportunities there. I'm going to call them. Okay. I'm going to point it out when I think you need to get out of it. So your setup would be improve this. He's totally distracted at what's going on outside. Now, done. Good. Good boy. Get it out. Okay, so there's one. So then what happened is now you got into this. He's been holding, but now he's going, I don't really want to do it anymore. So now is when it really struggles. You should have been out of it. You could have had 3 repetitions in by now. So way, 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 way too long. Now, as I fast forward it, here's where he ducks out. So positioning, get a little bit better position. We'd be better with this. He's totally not into this right now. He could care less. You're asking him to get his attention back. So the distractions need to be taken away, and Mike needs to be the focus of this, just like Nicole needs to be the focus of this. And it's got to happen. It's got to be way quicker. Your cadence needs to be quicker. This rhythm is terribly slow and boring. And Zeke says, I'm not interested. Right now, you're done. Dead. Good. Build off of that. Short little 3 seconds of good is better than 2 minutes of wrestling. So, and then in the very end, you get nothing out of it. So, I mean, you're not getting nothing out of it. Your timing, Mike, is off on that. Shorten it. Simplify it. I'm going to shut it off so it's not so noisy. Simplify it, guys. Don't make it so long. Don't make it so hard. Get 3 seconds of good hold and then a dead. And then another 3 seconds of a good hold and then a dead. And then a 3 seconds of a hold and then dead, and you're done. And in less than a total of 10 seconds of holding, you got really good holds out of it to build off of. That one you didn't get much to build off of. I don't know what you're going to be building off next time, tomorrow. So I think you need to shorten it, and I think you need to set up better. You need to have a better setup, and you need to get that focus, because right now the little bit of good that you're getting is really not, it's just not sticking, because I'd rather pay attention to what's going on outside than you. So it's hard for him to register that and put it in. So that was that for tonight, guys. This little one settled in nicely. Got to wrap it up here. There was one other question about, Brian Frisk, I think, asked about moving his feet. His son needs to get picked up from a volleyball game. So I got to wrap this up, guys. Frisk, we'll talk about your question another time here. So you guys have a great night. We'll talk with you soon. Keep working. Be patient. Keep working, guys. Talk to you later.